Welcome to Christina Local, where we explore fragrances from designer to niche. Today I decided that it was finally time to review some samples that I received. I wanted to take my time and give you guys a decent review, and I decided to kind of go with the theme of sandalwood fragrances. So we have three niche sandalwood fragrances. So we have Fragrance du Bois, Santal Complet. We have Serge Lutens, Santal Majascule, and Santal 33. And the only one I actually had to pay for was the Fragrance du Bois. And I'll start off with saying that company was the first one that really intrigued and piqued my interest when I was starting to explore niche fragrances. I didn't even know that existed. I thought designer was the top of the line, and maybe to some that is, but niche fragrances are companies that only make fragrances. They may make candles and perfumes, colognes, lotions, things like that, but they really focus on the fragrances. So I'll start off with my least favorite and go to my very favorite of the three. So my least favorite, is Labo Santal 33. This fragrance I acquired just by stopping by the boutique, and this one is very interesting. So let's start off with the company. All these companies are really, really cool. They really pride themselves in being sustainable and caring about, I think, their employees, caring about the world, and really wanting to bring not just a perfume, but an art to the world. So let's see. So Santal 33, for 100 milliliters, it's about $280 US. I'm like, whoa, just reading that. It's quite a bit. But I think on their website they said that there's too many bottles of perfume and not enough soulful fragrances. So again, I think that the reason that, sorry for the noise, but the reason that people are paying this money is because it's like a piece of artwork to them. Art is completely up to you how much you'll pay for it. And that's the same with these type of niche fragrances. They really are putting their heart into these. Another something that they said was the soul of the fragrance comes from the intention of which it's created, and I like that a lot because I really believe in intention and that sort of thing. So when you're purchasing this fragrance, you're purchasing a piece of their heart, a piece of their artwork. Can you put a value on that? No. So that's why they feel comfortable with that price. Another thing is I believe they source sustainably. And as Americans, we don't really have an idea of how much that can truly cost in a world of Amazon, Walmart, and Target, fast fashion, things like that. So something to be mindful of when deciding to try these niche fragrances. And they clearly are very generous. I just went to the boutique and asked to smell it, and she offered me a sample. I did not even ask to get the sample. So let's go into the fragrance, what we really care about. I have to explain it a little bit. If you read the website, they say that they were inspired by the Marlboro Man. That part not so good. Cigarettes are not good, but they were inspired by what that's inspired by, and that's the West, the American dream, freedom, an open heart. And when you think of that, you might also think of sort of sitting by a fire and just being in a moment where you feel free and maybe even sensual. You're connecting to the earth, and you're connecting to yourself and all the dreams that you have that are inside of you. So with that, again, the Marlboro Man definitely is a masculine figure, and it's a very masculine scent in my opinion. It's a masculine scent in my opinion because it has notes of cardamom, iris, violet, ambrox, Australian sandalwood, and cedarwood. It's a spicy, leathery, musky, unisex fragrance. So I'll explain what I think that it has a medium to large sillage. Can definitely smell it. To me, I put it on around, I think it was 10. I took a shower at 1, so I washed it off and put it back on. But I can tell 11, 12, 1, that it could last at least probably 5 hours, if not longer. The sillage is probably large to medium. You know, I think it's in the air, but it's for someone to be next to you. They would smell it. I don't think that they would be offended necessarily, but they would definitely get a sense of a smell and a feeling. Again, what the artist was trying to put out there from being around you. For me, it was very kind of zesty in the beginning, and then it calmed down a little bit to more of that spicy sandalwood feel, like a spicy wood, and then it kind of played with the iris and the violet back and forth, creating a nice little dance of a femininity that I somewhat enjoyed, but I really would have liked a little more sweetness there. And then at the end, that sandalwood comes back a little smooth, not creamy, smooth. And I think, again, that it will last. This could definitely become your signature scent because it's never boring and it's always interesting to see what note you're going to pick up next. So I'll move on from that one into my second favorite. Oh, this is a tough one. These are actually kind of tied, but I'll go with Serge Lutens. And Serge Lutens is an artist. This is actually a bottle that I got from a friend, and this one is surprising. This one, again, is a sandalwood fragrance, and it starts off in that kind of sandalwood unisex range. Creamy, very creamy. I love that about it. And then the rose is the most beautiful rose that I've smelled on myself. I actually wanted to keep smelling the rose. I'm like, bring on that rose. And it's probably, again, more of a smaller sillage, I think, on this one. But it was so small I didn't overspray. And it lasted quite a long time. I want to say that the longevity of it was about 6 hours, maybe longer. I don't remember quite well, but I do remember that it definitely stayed on my skin and it became a beautiful rose, and it's not sweet. With this company, again, this wonderful man, Serge Lutens, is I believe he describes himself as a French man. He's from Lille and he moved to Paris. Serge Lutens himself worked with Shiseido and Dior. So I have my notes here, but he seems like a very interesting person. He worked with Vogue and he was just ahead of his time, I believe. And this sandalwood was something that was in his memories. He had kind of a tough childhood, so all of, I believe, his scents are kind of inspired by things that happened in his life and memories. And I think sandalwood was a strong one. I think it's a beautiful fragrance. Again, it kind of reminded me of, maybe not exactly, but you know, like a oud rose, like I smelled Jo Malone rose oud, similar, but this one was sweeter because I feel like sandalwood is sweeter than the oud, and very unisex, not quite sweet, but it touches that point. These unisex fragrances are like, come right up to that point, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna be sweet, and I just love sweet right now. I don't know why, but I do. I guess, you know, I just prefer the feminine fragrances, but this was very close to one that I would consider purchasing because it was good, and my husband said that he liked that on me. So we'll go to the next one, and again, this is a house I was so drawn to, and that's the Fragrance du Bois house. Fragrance du Bois is just like class and sophistication in a bottle. I mean, I'll try to insert their bottle here. Oh my gosh, those bottles are gorgeous, and the packaging is completely sustainable. They say I don't think they use plastic. I haven't received one, but just by looking at it, I can tell that they don't hold out in that packaging. And all of their fragrances are unisex. They say that they are the best of Arabian, modern, contemporary and classic French, which I adore French. So if you're inserting more French into your fragrance, you got a fan right here. So Fragrance du Bois is extremely expensive. It was, let's see, it's 245 euros, I believe, per 100 milliliters. And Serge Lutens was the cheapest, by the way, just to go back. That one was 180 euros. So this was 245. It looks like pounds, but I believe euros. I'm not sure. And on the website, they said that this one is an antidote to a cold winter day. It's a delicious coconut dreaming of sunny days. What stood out to me was the opening of a lemon. It started off very lemony, and then it went into a pepperiness and violetness, and the pepperiness kind of creates the unisex vibe because it doesn't allow it to stay too feminine. And then it becomes, so from there, it kind of is zesty, then it becomes sort of a creamy sandalwood with an interplay of coconut throughout. It's not like a coconut that you think of, oh wow, this is a coconut bomb or anything like that, like something like the Bum Bum creams or any of those things from Sephora, those feminine kind of coconutty flavors. To me, it's an interplay between all the notes. And then in the dry down, it becomes a creamy sandalwood and this powderiness. The dry down on this, it took a very, very long time. The sillage was probably more small, and I guess that's pretty normal for the Fragrance du Bois, but maybe 5, oh man, it was like bedtime, so maybe like, I don't remember exactly how many hours, but many, many hours later, I just happened to smell myself and say, oh my gosh, there's like a beautiful powderiness that's coming out of this. And I feel like it was my skin chemistry mixing with the different oils that they use. Again, very, very high quality. So that one, I'm going to continue. I have a little bit left. I'm going to continue to use. And, you know, again, they have master perfumers. They're very active on social media. I posted about it in one of them, and they commented. So that price is high, but you guys, they're really trying to bring art to life in a scent. And I don't know about you, but when I have a scent bubble around me and I'm feeling good and I'm thinking well, it just creates your own little universe, and it's very artistic. It's very beautiful. So that was my kind of thoughts on Santal, which is sandalwood, which again is a wood that, of course, we've all probably smelled in nature, but these bring them to life in different ways. I would say the most feminine, to be honest, might be Santal Majascule with that rose, and then Fragrance du Bois with the powdery finish, and then Santal 33, the slightest bit of femininity in the violet and the iris in the middle notes there. So let me know which one of these three that you may have tried. From my kind of description, which one you're most interested in. I think almost all of them kind of have a cult following. So I had so much fun kind of putting this together and really enjoying the scents, and I hope that you'll come back and discover more scents with me. Have a great day.